We are tier listing all of Lazio's most iconic kits through history. That's what we do here on Full as Peas. We figure out which ones are trash, which ones are class. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Pete, how are we doing today?
We're going back to our roots, Manoli. That's what we're doing here. Everyone's been clamoring for it. We've been reading the comments. Everyone's been asking to come back to the kit stuff. And I think after much deliberation, we have come back. And we're back. Yeah, we're back.
We're back with a twist. We are shifting things a little bit. From a logistical standpoint, going through every single kit in a team's history, shockingly strenuous on the editing process.
Yeah.
So we've decided to do a little bit of cherry picking. We're going to be separating episodes into home and then away in third kits. We're going to be picking out our favorite kits. Some may be good, some may be bad. Tiering system will be the same. Makes for quicker episodes, quicker watches, and honestly, from my point of view, quicker edits.
Yeah, more content for you guys too. We're thinking about you guys. More content, more episodes, getting that out there.
And if there's any teams you guys would like to see us do, please leave a comment below. We know there's an infinite amount of teams out there, and we might even be revisiting some old teams we've already done too.
Yeah, so again, give that like button a hit and subscribe button, and we're really appreciative of everyone supporting this channel here. So let's get into it. We're doing Lazio today. This was a club that's been highly recommended. The home kits I've selected here, kind of just all over the place. I think just a bunch of ones that have caught my eye. We're starting with probably the most iconic Lazio kit, the Flying Eagle kit. Is
arguably the oldest kit I think we've done in the entirety of the channel as well.
Correct. Yes. This was the first I saw. It was in 82, 83, maybe the year before, but this was the earliest iteration that I've seen. And I personally am a huge fan of this. I think it's so cool. This is a kit that is unlike any other that we have seen and it has a really iconic staying power. Like whenever they bring it back, I'm like, that's such a cool kit. Like, well, I don't know why they thought like this would be a cool design, but it worked out fantastic.
I mean, for 82, such a timeless design. Also, in Serie B as well. They are in Serie B with the brand Ineri.
Yeah.
I never even heard of this brand.
I've seen them pop up on some other kits, like really old kits. I think they were really...
They're still around now.
Yeah, they're still around, but tidbits about here. Why are they called why do we have an eagle across the chest? Well, that's Lazio's use of their crest and their symbol. They also have like a nickname called Le Equile, Gli Agliari, which is like the Eagles and the Young Eagles. So really honing in on that motif there. So I don't know. I would say it's not absolute class, but I think it's a beauty.
I think it's a beauty. It's a very timeless design, and I mean, I feel like we will see updated versions of this kit, but to hit the ground running, I think is a good start. Now, moving on to a couple years into the future, 1989 to 1990. Again, just like a classic Umbra-looking kit. I feel like they revisit this sort of design quite a bit here, and I'm loving the zigzag pattern going on.
Yeah, the zigzag pattern this is why it really caught my eye. I think that's why I threw it on the list here. It's very quintessential Umbro. They throw in this design. Also, this is like coming into Italia 90, when Italy hosted the World Cup. So Umbro was, peak in the 90s. So I think this is a beauty, actually. Like,
no, this is an easy beauty. I like this more than the last kit. I like this more than the 1982 home kit. This is more like you could wear this now. This is once again, we've talked about it before, a great example of a fantastic pub shirt.
Yeah, exactly. And then moving on to 91, 92. If you take the Lazio badge away and also the Banco Santo Spirito sponsorship as well, you could throw this on as like a Man City kit if you wanted to. Yeah. But I kind of like this one a little bit more than the last kit we did.
I do too. I think the crest looks a little bit more updated, and I guess the brighter colors are doing something for me.
But I love like the base layer design there. I feel like we haven't seen that from all the other kits that we've done. Like this particular design, that other zigzag one, I feel like we've seen, but this feels like a nice tile that you put in your bathroom. A nice Italian marble.
It's reminding me of snowflakes. Oh, and
Okay.
if you look in closely here,
Ooh.
Lazio, this does a good job of showing it. Looks like more towards the bottom.
Yeah, that's kind of cool. That's
At
a
least
cool
when it
little
catches the light,
design.
when it catches the light, you get the Lazio over and over again. That's very
Yeah.
cool.
That's a little tidbit design there. I kind
This
of
might
like
be
that.
this might be class.
Fuck it. I'm cool with it.
I mean, listen, man, this is.
We're getting back into the rhythm of this. We haven't done these in a minute, like a real one. So we gotta forgive us if we're not as ruthless as we
I
were in previous episodes.
I don't even think this is us being ruthless.
Yeah,
I think we're seeing some nice kits.
yeah. These are some nice skits. What do you want?
Now, 95, 96 gets a little more plain Jane. I still think it's a
Nice.
pretty nice design. I like the eagle going sort
Yeah,
of down to small, but it's subtle enough to where I feel like it's not too offensive.
I say this is a wear it out. I like the collar. I like the pointy V-neck at the end there too. I like the dark undertone, but I don't think it slaps as hard as the other ones. So I'm willing to. I just think it's wear it out worthy.
I couldn't say it better myself. I mean, I think you kind of hit the nail on the head. I think it's just, yeah, there just needs to be a little bit more with it for it to be placed any higher. It is very clean, but
Yeah. Now moving on to 99 2000. Now when I was going through some history and stuff, just trying to put some historical context in here. Out of all the years that I was handpicking, this is Lazio's probably most successful year ever. They had a treble winning season this year where they won the Scudetto. They won a UEFA Super Cup. So not a like they won some type of European trophy, but they also won the Italian Cup. And then they've also made their deepest run in Champions League in club history. They lost in the quarterfinals to Valencia, who I think that actual year Valencia did make it to the final as well. But this is their most successful, I think, year. They surprisingly, well, not surprisingly, I don't want to say that, but Lazio has always been one of those teams that is like always good, very competitive, and sometimes can, occasionally win it. They've only won it 3 times, but this was worthy of putting it on here just because of the magnitude, I guess, of the club. And they've done this remake before, and we might see it in some later years, I think, or maybe in the next episode. It's funny because I feel like I don't know if I like this a lot, but then it kind of grew on me. But then I think it's wear it out just for the history.
this was honestly, this to me is a decent, but I mean, we got to give them some credit where credit's due. It's a treble winning season.
Mm-hmm.
So I feel like wear it out minimum just for that. And I can see people wearing this out. I see the appeal of this kit. I just don't think it does much for me.
Spoiler alert, I think when they do the remake, they'll do an updated like retro remake of this. The retro remake actually does look better than the original.
Now, making a big jump, we are in the new millennia, the 2000 to 2003. I'm going to be honest, not really doing much for me on this one.
I think I picked this one because that collar was just really unique. I was just like, I have not seen a collar like that on any of the kits that we were doing. We thought it's like a mock neck, but then it has like a pointed jagged edge at the bottom there.
I feel like I have like memory of Puma doing these kind of like weird neck. It's definitely trying to be a little bit ahead of its time. I think with the design, a little bit futuristic. It feels like. The bright blue, I think, is just kind of like piercing my eyes a bit too.
Yeah.
And there's not just enough going on with the template, I think, to allow it. That it needs something else.
Yeah, I don't understand why the Puma logo is centered as well. Why couldn't we just put the Puma logo where the normal usual location is on that? I feel like that would be better. I agree. I think the blue's way too bright here. It's almost like too Napoli-esque. Yeah, and it's sad because Siemens Mobile is a pretty iconic type of sponsorship for this era, for like the mid 2000s.
2003, 2004, we're going just 1 year forward, and Pete, I'm gonna say it just right off the rip. This is rubbish.
Oh, this is 100% rubbish. This looks like the ones that you win at like the, at a carnival or, at the boardwalk or something. That, I agree, this is rubbish.
The sponsor's just awful. This is like one of the worst sponsor combinations I think we've ever seen. They really said we're gonna slap a nice golden maroon sponsor on this bright blue kit. Like they said, an ad is an ad, but this is, you couldn't have done something with this.
And then what is Puma doing with the throwback or the alternate logo here, like spelling it out?
Feels so out of place.
It's just so odd. It feels like they were trying to do something here and it didn't work out. I hate the template too. It just seems so dated. It just doesn't even feel like the kit.
No, it's this is rubbish.
So moving on to a little bit further down the decade, 2008, 2009. They went with a different shade of blue. This seems like a more aqua kind of shade, I feel. They have like the white under like paneling there. I like the black trim. Puma did this, always was weird with doing these Pumas on the shoulders, which for some kits worked well and some other kits just seemed really out of place. It's like, it's really like maybe a rubbish.
I think decent is the correct spot. It's just so plain. Like,
yeah.
I feel like it's too aggressive to put this in rubbish. Because honestly, like, I don't think it's doing anything inherently wrong. I think it's just also not doing anything inherently great either.
No, it's not.
Like, this is one misstep from going to rubbish. I will say that, though.
Yeah. Now, 2009, 2010, I threw this on here because they did win. I was looking up just to make sure that they won it in this kit. They did win the Supercoppa Italiana in this. Very interesting design here with this kind of like chevron logo around the neck, but it has like this kind of weird marbling or like design in it. That's why I threw it on there. I still don't like this shade of blue. I don't like this sky blue. The blue needs to be more saturated, I feel like. I also don't know how I feel about this, but they won a trophy with it while wearing it, so that's all.
I think the trophy keeps them in decent. I think this would be in rubbish if not. I remember this template with, I think, Tottenham specifically. I associated with Tottenham pretty heavily, with that weird, like you said, like the chevron. It's just looks kind of strange. I don't know. It's... Like, I say, like, it needs, like, a lot of these kits need detail. With this one, it's almost, like, too much detail. Do you know what I mean? It's a little too ambitious.
Yeah, like, I think the design's a little too ambitious. But, I mean, this is what happens with these types of, like, second-tier type of clubs. You know, they get a little experimental and try to catch lightning in a bottle, and it doesn't really work sometimes. In this case, it doesn't work, but...
Now, 2012, 2013, they win the Italy Cup, beating their rivals Roma in this. Now, this is, I think this is pretty nice. I think this is, I feel like, regardless with the win, I feel like this lands it, like, safely in, like, high decent wear it out. Maybe a little bit of a bump into wear it out.
I'm wearing this out. This is very nice.
It's clean. It feels almost like a vintage rework.
Yeah, nice collar, nice little stripes around the collar there.
I love the muted blue. The blue looks really nice.
This is the blue that's like hits it right on the head, like right, you know, just this is the shade I'm associating with Lazio when I see them.
100%.
I also like Macron. I think Macron low key like second and third tier type of kit supplier, but like underrated. Like, I think they have some pretty nice designs. I also don't think their logo, when they do the whole word, it's not as good, but the little logo that they do is kind of nice as well. Now, 2013, 2014, kind of went back to back on this one just because I thought that collar was really different. That's the most striking part about this thing, is how deep is too deep for a collar. I don't know, that's pretty deep if you ask me. But I don't know, this is Italy, so like, you know, 3-4 buttons out at dinner time, not, you know, it's pretty much the norm.
I don't hate it in this template though. I don't know. I kind of like it here. Usually I'm kind of weird about the templates, but in this case I think this works.
Yeah, I think so too. I think this is weird. I think this is a wear it out.
No, I 100% agree. I think it looks really clean.
Yeah.
It hits the blues right, hits all the colors right. Yeah, I think wear it out simple.
That outlining, the outlining on the crest looks great on it too. I think that's what helps aids it. Underrated badge though, I will say. Pretty unique, underrated badge.
And it's the last time we'll be talking about that badge because we're fast forwarding 2018, where we are getting a bit of a throwback badge.
Yes, and a throwback sponsorship with the Seleção or Selecao. I don't know how to pronounce that, but yeah, a little bit lighter shade. But I know you love your round collars.
I love my round collars. I think the lighter shade works here. I don't think
Yeah.
it doesn't get too bright with it. I mean,
And,
I really like this.
and they won a Super Copa. So do we? If this was a wear it out, are we saying this is a beauty? I think
I was gonna jump to beauty on this. I think it's just like a super clean design. It's pretty timeless. I love the throwback crest.
the
I
throwback
think it
crest
looks
is pretty
fantastic.
nice.
And honestly, the Celica, this is such a nice sponsor.
Celico was a television manufacturer that sponsored them during the 1980s. And then obviously for this particular 2017, 2018.
Yeah, I think this is easy beauty. Now, continuing with the throwback tradition, Pete, this 2018, 2019 bad boy.
Yeah. So fun bit, they also won the Italia Cup. So this was Lazio's like, no, I guess like this is the bread and butter. Like, all right, we can't win the Serie A, but we'll make a deep cup run and win a cup here and there. Now, yes, they're commemorating that 1982-83 kit. A little bit of a modern update to it with the Marathon Bet sponsorship instead of the Celico sponsorship. How do we feel about the sponsorship change?
I think it's just a little too much going on here. I think the problem with the Eagle is when you add a sponsor on, it just makes it so crowded. I think I would like this kit a lot more if there was no sponsor at all.
Yeah, the sponsorship is the text is pretty big. See, like that.
Like, this is good. This is
God.
okay. I mean, to be fair, we could judge it off this because I think this is probably I'm not mad judging it off this because this
If
is
it's
like
that-
this
that-
is like a beauty. I think.
Yeah, if it's that, it's a beauty, maybe low absolute class, but beauty for sure. Now with the sponsorship,
Sponsor, we don't talk. I think we don't talk about the sponsorship. I feel like this is.
yeah.
I think
too
we
much.
picked joy. I think we picked joy today.
Well,
I think we
we're
picked
coming back.
happiness.
We're getting back into the swing of it. So yes, I agree with you here.
I think this is what you buy. I think you're as a fan, you're able to buy it without the sponsor. I don't think we would have this picture if not.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm willing to go class. I mean, they won a cup, sure, and I mean this really is like I guess like a timeless design. 21, 22, we are still sticking around with Macron, and this is probably the most I'd say like modern safe take I think we've seen thus far. Not too much going on. I don't mind the pinstripes. I think it looks good.
I like the pinstripes. We got a little crypto sponsor here, Binance, which
It's not the worst sponsor.
not the worst, kind of works. Also, probably the best crypto logo.
I don't love crypto companies just as a sponsorship as a whole, but I think this is definitely one of the less, we'll say, painful ones.
Yeah, kind of like blends crypto and finance together.
I agree.
This is also when I like Macron using their other logo there as well than just spelling out the word. And I like it that they throw it on the shoulders too. Kind of makes a cool look about it.
No, it's very clean.
I say wear it out. This is an easy wear it out for me.
Yeah, I think so too. Now, 22-23 is one of the most exciting things for me because we're seeing Mizuno come in, and we've talked about it before. I'm a big fan of Mizuno, and I think their kits have been quite nice. They're kind of having a bit of a Kappa resurgence, I think. I really like this kit. It has the eagles repeating very nicely, kind of like in a diagonal pattern.
Which I like. That's kind of cool.
Yeah, round collar, always going to be shouting that out. Like, this looks fantastic, I think.
Yeah, it's a round collar, but nice little, like, stripe design in there, too. Elevates it. Badge is great. Again, the sponsor logo works, too. I really like this. This is like a beauty. It might be a beauty.
I low-key think this is a beauty. This is one of the most original designs I've seen. It's just done with such class.
Yeah, like, simple elegance, but works. Has a little bit of pop. Like, very nicely done here, Mizuno.
It just hits all the marks of something I look for in a modern kit. And then now we're at this season's 24-25, and honest to God, Pete, I think I don't know which one I like more.
When we talked about that earlier kit from like the mid-90s doing that little Lazio design in there, I was like, oh, that's where they got that inspiration from, because I know this kit was coming later in the episode.
Yeah.
But I really like this. It's like this is like giving like a very funny, like, does it give you like without the stripes? It gives me like an Argentinian vibe.
I think it helps with the color palette. I see where you're coming from on it.
Yeah, kind of wish that bar across the chest here. I wish they continued like that Lazio kind of wordplay that they were doing. It's not like a big knock or anything, but I just don't know why they just stopped it there. But
it doesn't bother, because it looks like it continues in the shoulders. I wonder if it's something they even tested and they're like, this looks like too much going on if we have it going over. I just wonder. It doesn't bother me as much.
Yeah.
I think I like last year's just a little bit more, but this,
I think so too.
I wish last year's had this season's collar and trim.
Yeah, it's a nice collar.
I mean, this is another fantastic kit. I might be seeing if I can find last year's on sale. I'll be honest with you. That's a clean kit. And there we have it. That wraps it up for today's list. And honestly, when you're cherry picking, it's nice to see though. Like even though they're not all beauty, we get a nice variety in here. And I think this is a very nice showcase of what Lazio has to offer.
Yeah, I mean, look, there was a lot of playing. Like, if this was in our original format, and we were starting from, like, let's just say the 90s, there was going to be lots of more rubbish and bloody dreadful. I wanted to ease our way back into this, so kind of was just handpicking. I'm like, oh, this looks nice, that looks nice. So yeah, looking forward to the next episode when we do the away and the third kits. That's going to be fun. There's a little bit more substance to those, I feel like, as most away and third kits tend to be. So yeah, keep an eye. We're looking forward to that one too.
We'll be back with weekly episodes. We're gonna keep doing more teams. We love to hear more of what teams you guys would like us to do. We know we've gotten a couple suggestions for Atletico Madrid. We've had some Bayern never losing, even though they have been losing, unfortunately.
And they just lost Xabi Alonso and Jonathan Tah.
To nobody's surprise, though.
Yeah, to nobody's surprise.
But make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Like I said, let us know below what you would like us, what clubs you would like to see us review, and we will see you all next week. Cheers, my friends.
See you guys.